We're going live. We are live. Hello. Sorry for the delay there. That game ended fast. And if you're a Warriors fan, you are exalted by the result. The Minnesota Timberwolves now have a 5-game losing streak, and the Golden State Warriors took advantage of the tumult with that organization, whether it has to do with internal factors, whether it has to do with just the malaise of this part of the season, maybe the massive issues going on with the community in Minneapolis and beyond had an effect on that team. But regardless, the Golden State Warriors took advantage. A game that was postponed by 24 hours, again, because of protest and tumult in Minnesota, plays in the Warriors' favor. Whether or not that strategy involved putting all their eggs into today's basket so that, and then they're going to wave the white flag tomorrow, I don't know. We'll see. We'll be back again tomorrow because this now becomes the first of a back-to-back, but your Golden State Warriors are victorious. The final score in this one, 111-85. It was never close. And again, I don't cover the Minnesota Timberwolves closely enough to understand what exactly is going on with that team. Truth is, who cares? We're a Warriors show, and they won. We're also going to briefly talk about yet another example of why social media is toxic. In terms of misinformation being disseminated, in this case, a soundbite from Golden State Warriors reporters, not the right word, columnist, Marcus Thompson of The Athletic, who made a comment on a podcast recently that had some people applying the spin factor, if you will, to something that is really nothing. But I just want to clear that air up really quickly here on a Sunday. If you're watching football, I hope you're enjoying that. If you watch the Warriors, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you're watching this program, I hope you enjoyed this. We are powered by FanDuel, and the program is called the Golden Days.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Golden Days. That's the name of the program. How is days spelled exactly? I need some help here from our resident closer of the program.
Days in reference to the Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, it's spelled D-A-Z-E. You can follow me, Cyrus Saatsaz, on Threads and Instagram, at Dog Wild over on Twitter, at Surf Journalist. The program, most importantly, available on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. I mentioned we're brought to you by FanDuel. And let's see really quickly if there is a line for the second of a back-to-back between the Warriors and the T-Wolves. The Warriors, I believe, were 7.5-point underdogs in this game tonight. So to come away with a 16-point victory, and it wasn't even that, or was it 16 or 26? Hold on, did I do my math right? 111-85, a 26-point victory. I apologize. The bookies grossly misreading this one, but they currently do not have a line for tomorrow's game. So stay tuned for that. And why there isn't a line, maybe they're awaiting word on Wardell. Who knows if he's going to play tomorrow. If you watch this game throughout, Steph, this might have been the first time to the best of my memory. By the way, a Troll 25 in our chat saying they're enjoying football, just checking in on the show. Thank you for the check-in, brother. Appreciate your sister, if that's the improper tag there. Thank you regardless. And and football has been exciting. And I want to and the football game, at least the first one, the Patriots beating the Denver Broncos. There is a lesson to be taken from there that applies to the Golden State Warriors, and I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. But again, real quickly, going back to FanDuel, because there is no line for tomorrow, what I'm curious about is how do the odds makers see the Warriors currently now in terms of win totals? And huge surprise, you can't bet on that because the bookies know that is a precarious position in terms of playing the probability game. In terms of futures, and more specifically, who's going to win the championship? The last time we looked at the Golden State Warriors, I believe they were plus 15,000, and those odds have dropped even more. They are now plus 25,000 or 250 to 1 to win the championship. That is courtesy of FanDuel. So if you are a believer of your Golden State Warriors, put your money where your mouth is with FanDuel, the official sports book of Golden Days and the Believe Network. Apologies for the quick break there. And again, the Warriors coming away tonight victorious, a 26-point victory in Minnesota. I saw someone in the chat, forgive me for not highlighting it, mentioned that even the home crowd was booing the team. Yeah, they were very disappointed. The player of the game, the FanDuel player of the game, in my humble opinion, even though Stephen Curry finished the game as a leading scorer, he looked good tonight. He looked sharp. That extra day of rest, it showed, at least from what I observed. And even though Steph wasn't shooting the ball lights out from the three-point line, in every other facet, he was superb. 7 of 18 from the field for Steph, just 3 of 10 from beyond the arc. So you take out the three-point shot, and Steph was 4 of 8 from inside the three-point line. That's good for 50%. Steph also went to the free throw line a bunch of times, a perfect 9 of 9 from the free throw line, added 7 assists, added 4 steals. Woo! Damn, that's impressive. All right, I'm going to put it to a vote. Steph finished with 26 points. I was going to easily hand this. I got to fix my graphic. I apologize. I was easily going to hand this award today to Moses Moody, who I'll share his stat line in just a second. But when I read that stat sheet line, sorry to be redundant, I was trying to avoid saying the word line twice. Suddenly made me wonder, is Steph deserving of player of the game honors? So is it Steph or Moody? I'll put it to a vote. What the F is fashion was disagreeing with my sentiment that Steph looked fresh, saying he looked tired tonight. Chardal saying Stephen Curry. Hold on, let's see. Laura Doan, one of my favorite human beings on the planet. Laura, always great to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. Saying Moses Moody. She joins us from the other side of the pond, as they call that, the Atlantic Ocean. Again, always great to hear from you. With a vote for Moody. No, we're seeing a lot of votes coming in for Moses Moody. So with the exception of Chardal, everyone else in the chat saying, well, no, Steph the GOAT, saying Steph, of course. We got Search Less Raw Diet saying Moody, and that even Steph would say Moses Moody. Idiofool in the chat saying it's always Steph, but Moody. Makes perfect sense. And I'm not being facetious saying that. You are making perfect sense. G4M saying Moody. Riz, I'll address your trade proposal in a little bit. I just highlighted that. Laura, sorry, I highlighted you already. You said Moses Moody. It's Manny saying Moody. A-Rod asking any update on Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors did release a report about Jonathan Kuminga. It's basically a day-to-day thing, but they did reveal some added detail pertaining to the injury that Kuminga suffered early in that Mavericks game. Was it the Mavericks game? Yeah. And the report, and this is courtesy of Warriors PR, and I'll share my screen with you folks here. By the way, yeah, Moses Moody is our player of the game. The votes are almost unanimous, and Moody was fantastic. The Warriors jumped out to they control this game from the beginning to the end, and Moody draining necessary threes early set the pace of the game, gave the Warriors early momentum. And even though Steph finished the game with 26 points, 7 assists, 2 boards, 4 steals, Moses Moody, our player of the game, our FanDuel player of the game, 19 points tonight, just shy of 50% shooting from the field overall, 7 of 15 from the field, but he shot above 50% from deep. 5 of 9 from deep. He also added 8 rebounds in this game, 2 assists, and 2 blocks to go along with just 1 turnover in 27 minutes and 42 seconds. So kudos to Moses Moody, our FanDuel player of the game, and his draft classmate, Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors PR staff releasing this press release, which I'll show to the screen now for the YouTube viewers. And if you're at home or if you're in your car or if you're just listening to this on a podcast and not watching the show, I will articulate this as clearly as I can. The Warriors releasing a press release today. Sorry for the redundancy there, saying, quote, Golden State Warriors Jonathan Kuminga, who exited Thursday's game at Dallas with 3:52 remaining in the second quarter due to a sore left knee, underwent an MRI on Friday. The MRI confirmed that Kuminga has a bone bruise as a result of the hyperextension injury. His progress will be monitored, and a reevaluation date will be determined in the coming days. Translation, bone bruise. Beyond that, we have no clue when he's going to come back. For all I know, for all we know, we'll never see Kuminga in a Warriors uniform again because this situation is so unpredictable. Again, my strong hunch is that he's not going anywhere unless the Warriors have a trade in front of them that they feel will not make them feel like they're getting ripped off. Meaning they want to make a deal that feels balanced, feels two-sided, if you will. And they don't want to get screwed over, and they don't want to give him away for nothing. So, A-Rod, that's your update on Jonathan Kuminga. Moses Moody, our FanDuel player of the game. Another player who's going to get some flowers tonight, Brandon Pajemski, who started this game again. I don't know if I like that move, but he didn't play a bad game at all, with the exception of not making any threes, not getting to the free throw line. But what I've always said is if he gets the assists, I'm satisfied. Brandon Pajemski tonight, 12 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 steals. How did Brandon Pajemski get 4 steals? The turnovers were a huge part of this game. Did have 2 turnovers, but Pods not hurting the team tonight. And again, on a night where he gets 5 or more assists, I'm gonna consider Brandon Pajemski to be on the good side of judgment and analysis. Yeah, Lordone saying BP did fine. Agreed. So good job to Brandon Pajemski. And hold on. I want to bring up the turnovers really quickly because there were 2 aspects of this game that to me told the story. And again, who knows what's going on with the Minnesota Timberwolves? I imagine that locker room is not a pleasant scene following a game like this. But 2 things stuck out here in this game, a game that the Warriors came away victorious in. Well, 3 things. One is the fact that the Warriors had 15 more three-point attempts. I apologize, 13 more. Still, that's a lot. They had 13 more three-point attempts than Minnesota. The Warriors had 51 three-point attempts to 38 for Minnesota. Yet they only made 3 more. The Warriors were 16 of 51 from deep. Minnesota 13 of 38. So usually when you have that kind of discrepancy, sorry, I feel like I have a hair in my mouth. What's that old classic line from Seinfeld? When that psychopath, Crazy Joe Davola, he's like, I got a hair on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, Seinfeld is awesome. But usually when you have a disparity like that, the advantage clearly goes to the team missing way less three-point attempts, right? So to put it in perspective for you, the Golden State Warriors tonight missed 36 three-pointers. Minnesota missed 25 three-pointers. That's a difference of 11. So, and every time you miss a 3, you're giving the other team an opportunity to push the ball and put your defense at a disadvantage. That did not happen tonight for 2 reasons. One is turnovers. Minnesota was sloppy. Minnesota was not focused. The Warriors defense deserves credit as well, but Minnesota committed 26 team turnovers, 25 of those individually. Jaden McDaniels, 4 turnovers. Former Warrior Dante DiVincenzo, 5 turnovers. Nasri, 2 turnovers. Leonard Miller, 2 turnovers. But the man who is most egregious in this department is Minnesota's best player, Anthony Edwards, who had 8 turnovers in this game tonight. And the Warriors capitalized, obviously. They scored 25 points off those 26 turnovers, and they won the game by 26. The other factor in this game, which was vital, and again, why Anthony Edwards had 8 turnovers in this game, I don't know. I don't watch him closely enough to give you any expert analysis on whether or not Anthony Edwards just had an off night, whether, this is something that's an issue with Minnesota. I have no clue. But 8 turnovers is an egregious number, and that's what Anthony Edwards had. 26 team turnovers is an egregious number, yet that's what Minnesota committed. And if you want to credit the Warriors defense, fine. And I'm not going to push back on that, even though it looked a lot more like Minnesota was just playing shitty basketball, unfocused, undisciplined basketball. But give credit to the Warriors. Their defense has also played very well this whole season. It's been one of the constants. And the other department, and I was not aware of this until I heard Tim Roy filling in for Bob Fitzgerald on the broadcast tonight. Bob, hope you're doing well out there. Did not hear back from the text. I don't know if he's ill. Kevin Dana filled in on the radio side. Tim Roy got bumped up to the TV side. Kevin Dana told me that Fitz will be back tomorrow. For those of you that are curious, my guess is he got the sniffles or something. I don't know what exactly went down with Fitz, but what I can tell you is with Tim Roy making the call tonight, he mentioned that the Warriors are second in the NBA in bench scoring. Makes sense, but I did not know the Warriors were that good in terms of their ranking compared to the other 29 teams in the NBA. They're second out of 30 teams in bench scoring. And tonight was a perfect example of that category being a positive, an advantage for your Golden State Warriors. The Warriors collectively, their bench, and now I got to do the math because I forgot the number. Hold on. It's 15, 22, 34, 36, 39. The Warriors bench scored 40 points. Minnesota's bench, 13. So the Warriors bench outscored Minnesota's bench 40-13, a 27-point advantage. Warriors win by 26. Sometimes the calculations start to tell a story right there. And Palmetto Muddy in the chat saying that DeAnthony Melton, Will Richards, and Moses Moody played good defense. Wholeheartedly agree. And again, this is where Brandon Pajemski, you give me those 5 assists, I'm going to talk good about you. He had 4 steals. I don't remember any of them, though. But I'm going to trust the box score that Pods was playing some excellent defense. James Bowers in the chat saying the bench is awesome. They scored 70 the other game. Yeah, again, they're second in the NBA. I don't know who's first. If someone in the chat wants to enlighten us, please let me know. But good job. Yadamin in the chat saying, am I tripping, or was Chris Finch just not even coaching the Minnesota Timberwolves today? It didn't look like it, but I don't want to take too much away from a Warriors team that came into this game with some urgency. Again, this was not originally scripted, a back-to-back set against Minnesota. This was supposed to be a game played yesterday. The Warriors were supposed to have the day off today and then play again tomorrow. But because of the protests and the tumult going on in Minnesota and Minneapolis right now, and again, I try not to make this show political. I just hope everyone's happy and safe out there. And look, I saw enough to know none of this is a good look for the federal government. Just chill the F out. Like, what are we doing here? But anyway, so the folks in Minnesota are not happy right now. And so the game got postponed. They played today. And so the reason why I bring that up is because in terms of strategy, this hurts the Warriors because they have not one but 2 players who don't play back-to-backs. Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton. Al Horford doesn't do back-to-backs because he's old. DeAnthony, that's not an exaggeration. That's why he's 39 years old. And who knows? With that said, who knows if he sucks it up and decides to show up tomorrow? Who knows? But that is the typical regimen for Al Horford. He doesn't play back-to-backs. And then DeAnthony Melton, as part of his his minute restrictions and load management, coming back from that torn ACL last year, does not do back-to-backs either. And the last I've been informed, he's still on a 25-minute restriction per game. So the Warriors decide, let's just go all in tonight. Let's and I don't know if Steve Kerr deserves credit for properly reading the opposition, for properly reading just the grander environment, and maybe being aware that the Timberwolves were not going to show up to this game. They were not fully focused, and he decided to take advantage. If that's the case, kudos. Credit to Steve Kerr for that. I don't know if that's the case, though. We'll see if any sound comes down for us to play in the show in just a moment. But so Steve Kerr takes advantage of a Minnesota team who came into this game with a 4-game losing streak, whose home community is again upended, not happy, and so as a result of that, I don't know how tomorrow's going to look, but the Warriors went all in tonight, and DeAnthony Melton in this game played 20 minutes 59 seconds, drops 12 points and 4 assists. Al Horford started the game at center tonight, played 22 minutes, 37 seconds. Solid output, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 5 from deep, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 10 points on the night for Big Al. 2 other random things that I noted. I rarely, if ever, see Stephen Curry blowing in his hands in an NBA game, which goes to show just how damn cold it is in Minnesota, even inside that arena. Does anyone know, just from the chat, if the audience doesn't mind helping me out here, do the Timberwolves share that arena with an NHL team, or do the Minnesota Wild play in a different arena? I bring that up because in arenas where the two teams share the floor, what they typically do is the ice stays there, and then they put the basketball court on the ice for NBA games. And that makes the arena even colder than what it normally would be based off outside temperatures. Minnesota is freezing right now. Their daily highs are in the negatives. And so if they also share that arena with the Minnesota Wild, that place was probably cold. And you saw Steph just blowing in his hand, like warming himself up, because there were some frigid conditions in that arena. And then James Flowers saying blows in his hands all the time. Yeah, but I can understand the difference between him doing that just to loosen the hands up and him warming, like rubbing his hand. The dude was cold, James. I don't know why folks sometimes just have to be contrarians and have to argue back. It was cold. And then the other one, other thing that I thought was funny, if you watch this game in the late portions of it, it's in the garbage time minutes. Joe Ingles comes in. Joe Ingles still in the NBA. He's currently on the T-Wolves roster, but he's a bench. Jill Espina in the chat. Sorry, this deserves. I don't have a proper rim shot. So every time a good joke like Jill Espina's comes down, Jill saying, "Was it ice cold?" We do the gong here for funny jokes. I should just add a rim shot at some point. Nonetheless, yeah, it was ice cold in there. And the other one, the other moment that I want to highlight, just because I thought it was entertaining, was Joe Ingles, who apparently does not play. He rides the bench. I don't know if his career is going to continue when his contract expires, but he came in for garbage time in the middle of the fourth quarter and decided to scrap with Quentin Post, who committed a hard foul on him. A little surprised they didn't call it a flagrant, because Post's arm did basically go around Ingles' neck. It wasn't egregious. It wasn't that bad, but Joe Ingles did not take to that kindly, and it nearly started a fisticuff between the two. A little amusing if you watch the game all the way to the end. Yeah. One last thing, and I'll post the link to the audience now if anyone wants to come on. With the NFC Championship still going on, I haven't paid attention to that in a little bit. Great day of football. Oh, two more things I want to bring up before the audience is welcome to the show. One is a point I want to make about ownership. And the other thing I'm gonna do is play a clip real fast of Marcus Thompson of The Athletic making some comments on a podcast that has riled a certain sect of the fan base up, and has caused a lot of people to spew misinformation. So I want to clear that story up real fast in terms of what Marcus said. And there's a soundbite that I found of it from a podcast appearance he made on my former longtime employer KNBR. a radio station that has just gone absolutely in the shitter. I don't honestly there's no relevance remaining from that place other than the fact that they're an institution that has been around a long time. And so some people still give it more weight than it should, but the days of them being a heavy hitter long over. Sorry for the jab, the punch there to KNBR. But nonetheless, I bring them up because it was one of their podcasts that Marcus Thompson was on, and we'll play that soundbite in just a second where he said something that a few are running away with, grossly misinterpreting. Before we do that, real quickly here, here's a link for the chat. I'll put it I'll put the link in our chat right now if you want to set up a queue, if you're interested in coming on. The New England Patriots are back in the Super Bowl. And I bring that up because what I've been saying on this show routinely is, and more specifically, what I've been mentioning on this show repeatedly is an adage. And the adage goes, poo-poo, crap, shit, whatever you want to call it, rolls from the top. Meaning, whether you want to cast blame or whether you want to cast credit on specific individuals for the outcome of a franchise, it usually starts at the very top, meaning it usually starts with ownership. And in the case of the New England Patriots, I cannot think of a better example. Robert Kraft owned up to his mistake of siding with the coach over the player, in this case being Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. And Tom Brady made them pay for that. And Robert Kraft had to learn the hard way that that was a huge mistake. And that you don't side with the coach over the talent. You don't do that. But what Robert Kraft also did when he learned his mistake was purge the coach, gave the next coach just 1 year before realizing that's a mistake. In the meantime, they focus on getting a new, shiny, awesome quarterback. Wink, wink, San Francisco 49ers, who haven't done that in nearly 30 years. Side note, the Niners dynasty collapses when Eddie D becomes a riverboat gambler, has to what was originally the premise was a temporary transfer of ownership to his sister, but his sister, who I hate, Denise, decides, I'm going to keep the team. You don't get it back. They never get a quarterback since Steve Young. And the Niners, nearly 30 years later, it's actually been 30 years, they still haven't won a Super Bowl. And it's been nearly 30 years that they still haven't gotten a franchise QB. It's pathetic. And it starts largely with an ownership group that puts penny pinching, that puts a bottom line over winning. The Patriots, they have a competent owner. They realize immediately we got to fix the QB position. They realize immediately we need a competent head coach. Took them 2 years to flip that script. And they're in this damn Super Bowl again. It starts with the top. If you have a bad owner, you're effed. The Sacramento Kings, you're effed, man. The New York Knicks, you're effed, man. It's shit rolls from the top. It does. This is an organization we're talking about. There is one ultimate leader to that organization. And I bring this back to the Warriors because for all the people out there that ridiculously hate on Joe Lacob without understanding nuance, without understanding big picture strategies, without trying to understand the fact that he's dealing with a head coach who he's now realizing is sabotaging the team. The silver lining here is after this season, hopefully, the team will move on from the head coach. And what I'm trying to say here ultimately is the Warriors have an ownership group who wants to win, and they're willing to invest in winning, and they're not dumbasses. These are smart people. I'm encouraged. I'm optimistic about this ownership group. Are they perfect? Hell no. Is Joe arrogant sometimes? Yes. But who the hell is perfect? My favorite adage in the whole world is don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. Meaning, you're rarely, if ever, going to have high expectations met, So lower your damn expectations. And that includes with an owner like the Golden State Warriors. It's hard to find better than Joe. And if you disagree, point out another owner in the NBA that you think is superior, and we can have a debate about that. There might be a few names that are in the discussion, surely, but I'm not going to ignore the fact that Joe is the reason why this team picked Steph over Monte Ellis. I'm not going to ignore the fact that Joe is the reason why Bob Myers was hired to be a GM, which at the time was an ingenious move because player agents were not being hired as GMs at the time. Joe's the one who hired Jerry West. Joe's the one who hired Steve Kerr. But you have all these idiots out there constantly pretending he's the problem because he's trying to sustain greatness while his head coach has zero foresight and just wants to just focus on what they have now and making Steph happy. And with a short-sighted, if you want to call it vision, it's a plan, I guess. There really isn't a plan. It's just a survival tactic. Just look at the Patriots in terms of maintaining optimism for the Warriors' future. I see a lot of similarities there between Joe and Robert Kraft. And this leads to the Marcus Thompson clip, and then we'll go in order. Aim assist. Aim, I hope you're there this time when we bring you on. Keezy, Tim in the City, James, Memo. That's the order for tonight. And then I imagine Chardol will jump on with us as our closer. We'll do a scoreboard check as well. But I want to play this clip. And this clip is from a podcast appearance that Marcus Thompson did. No, not that screen. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. My apologies. I just lost the clip. Damn it. Here it is. Okay. All right, here we go. So this is from a KNBR podcast that Marcus Thompson was on. And this is the clip that has a few people in a bit of a tizzy. It's only 15 seconds. Volume here is cranked up. So adjust your volume accordingly. I think the sound is pretty good. But this was Marcus Thompson. And I'll set this up for you as clearly as I can. Basically whining, crying for the Warriors to keep Steve Kerr another year because he thinks Stephen Curry deserves it. And he thinks the Warriors have failed him in terms of personnel decisions. Here's Marcus Thompson.
That Steph and Steve's dynamic breaking up. Like, Steph has endured a lot. So, like, if you can't give him, you know what I'm saying, like the trades he wants and the team, like, just let him have his coach at least, right?
Yeah.
That Steph.
All right. And that's a clip. And that's it. Side note, by the way, PS Triple in the chat saying Joe wanted to trade Steph and Clay. Did he? He also didn't want to give Curry his first max. That is true. But he did ultimately. I never said he wasn't a shrewd negotiator. And he ran Jerry West out of town after hiring him and milking what he could to build the dynasty. If you want to be negative and focus on what ifs and what happened after all the good shit happened, that's your right. But that's called a negative spin. And that's borderline gaslighting. It's what that is. That's dumb. Now, what Marcus Thompson was saying ultimately is that, and again, Marcus Thompson is the of all the media members, he's easily the closest connection to Steph. There's a channel there, so usually when he's talking about how Steph feels, you could call him a mouthpiece to a certain extent. But what he didn't specify in that clip is whether or not the Warriors like ignored the trade Steph wanted. Because for all we know, Steph went to the team and said, dude, I love Giannis. Yeah, who wouldn't? Maybe they tried and failed. Maybe they're still trying to get him. It's also very important to note that Steph 4 years ago also wanted Avery Bradley over GP2. True story. And the team wisely at that time didn't listen to him because players ain't GMs. So we don't know the full context there. We also don't know if like what he said was in reference to the team just flat out ignoring Steph or maybe not being able to follow through. We don't have a timeline. There's zero specifics. What that sounded like to me is a man basically crying for his boy to keep his head coach that coddles him another season, regardless of how the team is doing with this head coach. And there is zero indication from that clip that the team is just ignoring Steph's wishes or had. If Marcus Thompson was serious there, he'd write a story about this. He'd say this on his own pod. Instead, he's having a conversation with another podcast host, and he lets slip that Steph wants Kerr next year. And the writing on the wall is this is Steve Kerr's last year, and so he's bitching about it. Barber NBA brings up, except drafting like shit, I'm guessing in reference to the Warriors drafts, to which I will always push back and say, how do you know they're drafting like shit with this head coach? And not to mention the drafting under the Lacob era, if that's what you're referencing. Steph was not drafted in the Lacob era. Klay Thompson was. Draymond Green was. Festus Ezeli was. Harrison Barnes was. Kevon Looney was. And he hired the GM that was able to get Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa, David West, JaVale McGee, make the trade for Kevin Durant, make the trade that ended up with Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, and then there's also this from NK who writes, I thought Ken Bazemore was Stephen Curry's guy. I mean, is that what he's referencing? I don't know. There's zero specifics there. My point is, I do see some quote unquote like hoops news accounts on social media, and then you obviously have the Steve Kerr apologists who also love to hate on Joe Lacob, having zero big picture perspective in terms of how much worse it could be with an NBA owner. It's insane. But do you want Vivek? Like, do you want some billionaire who never shows up and doesn't pay attention? Do you want James Dolan? Do you want Joe Tsai of the Nets? Like, give me a break, man. It's insane. Riz is saying, when did Steph want Bradley Beal? Did he want Bradley Beal? Didn't know that. So just wanted to address that. And ultimately with that, my interpretation of that is Stephen Curry's boy in the media is whining because Steve Kerr is likely gone after this year. And look, can you blame Steph? I mean, if you were an employee of a company and your boss was willing to do anything for you, meaning if you pulled your pants down and bent over and said, kiss it, and that person would happily do so, would you want them replaced? Probably not. And if you're disappointed in Steph that his biggest focus is not championships and that he's not being more vocal in terms of pushing back against his coach, might be a valid point. But also, Steph just trusts Kerr so much that I don't think he knows better. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, as Tracy McKindle writes, well, you're right that Steph is Kerr's meal ticket and vice versa, at least in terms of treatment, maybe not results, but Keezy. The Keezy or Cheesy or something? Ceezy? How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Now I do, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
What's happening, man?
What's up?
All right, so it is Keezy. Can you hear me?
Keezy. I hear you loud and clear. Yeah, you're good.
Can you hear me?
Now I do, yeah.
All right, so yeah, it is Keezy. First off, I just want to say that I've been rocking with you since the other network, and I just want to say,
can you turn the volume down on your other device? I think that's what's causing all the
I turned the other one down already.
Okay, good. Thank you.
But I just want to say, like I said, I've been rocking with you for a long time. I live in Florida, so it's hard for me to catch catch the networks being all the way in Florida since it's West Coast shit. But my quick question is, I know you just read the thing about the other report. I think that the staff and ownership is keeping Kuminga kind of close because they realize he's cool, but Steve Kerr is really fucking up this whole plan. So I kind of think they're gonna hold him for a little longer as far as Kuminga because Steve Kerr's on the way out. I understand Steph wants what he wants, but Steph is on the way out too. I've been a Warriors fan since Baron Davis dunked on Andre Karolinko in the playoff. That shit changed everything for me. But as far as the logistics, Steph is actually on his way out. So at the end of the day, I think, especially with Jimmy Butler going down, they kind of got to keep Kuminga. If he's not hurt enough to the point where he can't play, it's kind of we need somebody to get some wins. Steph can't do this shit alone. You know what I'm saying? But I like your reporting. I want to say I rock with you for a long time. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
It's kind of a delay here.
Well, we have you, man. Like, so what's the point you're trying to make
thing.
here, man? Like, you think Steph is out? Like, he's going to bail or he's going to retire? Or like, what do you think is going to happen there? I'm rolling with the delay here. So
well, no, he's going to retire in about 2 years or so. Like, eventually, Kuminga, at that point, Kuminga could be Kuminga because we see when Kuminga gets in, he's doing his thing. Like, he's not no scrub out there. He's
yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's a total delay there, CZ. I'm sorry about that. And James, you are next. I saw you in the chat as well. I did promise you'd be next. So
people hate on Kuminga all day long, but at the same time, Kuminga, yeah.
I'm sorry about that. And James, you are next.
All right, well, keep doing your thing, man. It's a delay. I'm gonna get out of here. Keep doing your thing, Si. I appreciate you, man. Keep rocking out. Always.
I appreciate you, man. I'm sorry there was a delay, man. It screwed up the communication. CZ, come. I'm gonna bear with you for 1 second. I'll shut up. There's like a 10-second delay. Just express your final thoughts, man. You waited. You're on the show. You're giving me love. I want to give you love back, dude. So express your final thoughts before you go, dude. And tell me where you're from again. I missed the part where you told me where in the country or world you are. I want to feel love back, dude. So express your final thoughts before you go, dude, because I don't know where you're from again. I missed the part where you told me where in the country or world you are.
Well, I grew up in East Atlanta, but I live in Fort Lauderdale. So catching the Warriors game be late as hell all the time. You know what I'm saying? And West Coast shit, because the game ends just 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to get up to get my kids ready at 6 o'clock. But I still watch all of them. You know what I'm saying? But my final thought is, I think that the management is not going to trade Kuminga. With the injury, it's easier to not trade him right now. I think they're going to hold on to him. They're going to get Steve Kerr out this motherfucker next year. Steph going to have to be mad for a year or two, and they're going to be better without Steve Kerr babying the whole thing. Steve Kerr doesn't develop young talent. That's at the end of the day, he does not develop young talent, and it's fucked up because, I mean, Wiseman, he was kind of, that was unfortunate, but the rest of the young talent, we had what's his name? Patrick Baldwin, he was decent. He could have been involved. The dude from Milwaukee, Ryan Rollins, he's over there doing his thing right now. But yet we got GP2 that every time I see him on the motherfucking court, I'm like, fuck, we finna lose. But either way, you know what I mean? That's pretty my final thought. I'm gonna keep tagging in. Luckily this game was early today, but I'll be here all the time. I just can't log on when it's 1, 2, 3 in the morning and shit. But keep doing your thing, Si.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, CZ. I thank you so much. Sorry for the delay there. I wish we could have had an actual conversation. But thank you, CZ. I appreciate you, brother. Let's go to James, and then aim assist. Hopefully, we'll have a connection. James, my apologies. I did promise you were going to be next. I saw your private message written to me saying, "Si, I'm supposed to get the bump to the top." My apologies. I forgot. You're next. How you doing?
No, you good. You good, man. What's up, Si, man? It's always good to see you, man. Always good to be on the show.
Thank you,
man. I told you I'd be back after the Minnesota games, and I'm back. The only reason why I'm back today is because the way the games fell in line. And tomorrow we don't know because it's a toss-up, like you said. It could mess up our outcome because Milton and Horford don't play the back to back. So that's why I'm here today. Now I'm gonna tell you, like I feel the last 2 losses, I believe, were emotional losses for the team. And not only that, the first one I really believe it had to do with them coming to realize Jimmy's not gonna be playing. The second loss, man, I swear I give it all to Draymond. Draymond again with his shenanigans. You know, we can I don't know what it is, but we cannot control that man's emotions. And it's getting frustrating, it's getting tiring. He's costing us games, man, after games with all of that bull snagging in.
What'd you think about today, though?
I can't get over it.
What'd you think about his performance
Today,
tonight?
man, they played
We haven't
awesome.
touched on him at all yet.
They played an awesome, like I said the last time, if they continue to play like this, then we can go somewhere. And I believe that Melton could be our replacement of Jimmy. And if they don't, I'm gonna tell you this. Yes, I do too. And I'm gonna tell you this too. If they don't trade Kuminga, he also could be a very well good replacement of Jimmy, because let me tell you what he does. He gives us that drive to the paint. He also gives us that free throw, the charity shot. And you know what I'm saying? He's been doing better with his three, but we ain't gonna count on that. But I'm telling you, man, he's that scoring too that replaces Jimmy Butler's scoring. Because Jimmy Butler, before his last couple of games, he was coming in about like maybe 20-some points, sometime in the teens. But if you look at Kuminga, he's coming in. If you give him the ball, back up, get out of his way, and stop taking him out of the game, he's giving us about 20 and above. So that can be a replacement for the scoring. So that's why I'm here today, man. Let you know, hey, man, I think we can. You know what I'm saying?
James, here's my response to you, and I have a question as well. My response is: let's say the Warriors do nothing, right? Let's say their plan is this is the roster we created. There is no trade out there that makes sense because of what other teams are asking for. And contrary to what half this fan base thinks, Kuminga is actually talented. So if they roll with what they have for the rest of the year, I'd call this team a wild card, man. I'd call this team a squad that in a lot of ways reminds me vibe-wise of 2021 when they were a playing team, and it was very unfortunate that they lost those 2 playing games to the Lakers and the Grizzlies, but they were making some noise until that point. They're a wild card. I think they're actually better than that 2021 version, man. Like they could surprise people in the postseason. I'm not saying they're going to win a title, but they can make some noise, dude. If that's what you're saying, I agree with you. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Here's my question to you. Yes, we're on the same page. Here's my question to you. What do you think happens tomorrow? Because I'm waiting for FanDuel to release the line because I'm anticipating an absolute blowout. And I could be wrong. But chances are Melton's not going to play. Al Horford's not going to play. I'm confident Kuminga's not going to play based off that report with the bone bruise. I don't think he's coming back as soon as tomorrow. We're still awaiting an update, a new evaluation on Seth Curry. I think if there was ever a time for Steph's younger brother, to make an appearance and actually have a role on this team, now is it. It would not hurt this team. It would help this team if Seth played. I want to see Steph and Seth play their first possession together. And again, the reevaluation of that left sciatic nerve issue that Seth Curry has had is supposed to be today. I haven't seen or heard anything yet, but they said 2 weeks from literally that was 2 weeks ago when they released that. So no new update yet. I'm waiting on that. But my point is, dude, I want to see Seth come back. But my question to you more so was, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Like Steph might not even play. What do you think is going to happen?
Man, you know what, man? That's why I said in the chat. You know, this this back-to-back. Man, it just might mess up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, I feel for the people in Minnesota. I understand, you know, this ain't political show, but I understand that.
You can say shit politically, though. I just don't want to, man. I'd rather keep this Warriors focus. But I'm not going to sit here and control what you guys say, as long as you don't talk shit about me in the chat. That's the only time I take issue. Just don't try and blast me in the chat, dude. Because I grew up in a world where if you talk shit to someone, you don't just let that slide, dude. But we're in this world now where it's like rage baiting's a damn thing, and And so I'm in
Right,
this weird
right.
position where it's like if I don't address it, I feel like I'm being soft. If I do address it, now I'm being accused of taking the bait. It's a no-win situation for me. So all I ask is just keep my name out of your damn mouth in that chat. If you want to talk politics, go for it. I'm not going to censor you on that front.
Right, right. And I agree with you on that, man. But you know, with that being said, that the pro what's going on, it pushed us back. So it's gonna mess up, like I said, the fact that Milton can't play, Horford can't play. And I almost thought Steph wasn't gonna play because they had him on the injury report today. So I didn't know what was going on there. But I don't know, man. I agree. It could be, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, they could, if they got the third string in there, man, they might get blowed out. I don't know, but
Maybe. And again, the Warriors play Minnesota again tomorrow. And then they finish up the road trip at Utah on Wednesday before, and again, fourth most difficult strength of schedule remaining on the season. They got a lot of games against the Western Conference coming up here. But look, I will say this, bro. This win tonight, like I was expecting 0-2 for the Warriors record in Minnesota. So even getting a split to me is a win. Bravo.
Yeah.
Like bravo for the strategy because it worked.
I agree, man. If we get a split, that's cool. Hopefully, man. I'm really wishing. Man, my fingers are crossed. I'm praying. I hope we can pull off a win on these Knicks too, man. Because we need to get those two that we lost back.
Before you go, let me take a look at the standings here real fast. I'm just curious to know. Because incredibly, as weird as this may sound, the Timberwolves are currently the 7th seed in the West right now. I'm stunned at what Phoenix is doing. Like the Phoenix Suns right now are the 6th seed, and with this loss, Minnesota is now just 2 games ahead of the Warriors loss column. Can you believe that shit?
Man, with the last time I looked at them, I think they was like 4 or 5. I think
now it's just 2.
They was what?
Now it's just 2.
Right. No, I'm talking about they was ranked. They was the 5th seed, I think, or the 4th seed, I want to say.
They were.
And then I looked again. Man, they down to 7. I'm like, oh goodness.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I'll share the standings for the YouTube audience, so you can visually see it, and I'll read it off to each of you.
And again, I'll be honest, man. I think we can overtake Minnesota.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with this team. I would not make a prediction that bold. You might be right. I'm not going to say that, but we you might be right. Who knows? But right now, first of all, the Clippers are officially back. The Clippers are in the mix again. They're the 10 seed currently. If the season ended today, they'd be a play-in team. And I think that bears relevance for the Warriors because the Clippers have never been a good matchup for them. So I think if you're Golden State, that is one team you do not want to play in the play-in. That could be an out. In case you folks forgot at the end of last season, that regular season finale, which made the difference between the Warriors being a 6th seed and a 7th seed, Warriors lost that game. They don't usually have success against the Clippers, and if they do, it's rarely, if ever, easy. Anyways, the Clippers are the 10 seed, Trailblazers are the 9 seed, and the Warriors are 2 games ahead of Portland, 3 ahead of the Clippers in the loss column. But maybe more interestingly, you look ahead of the Warriors, like who's above them, and there's Minnesota just 2 games ahead in the loss column, technically only a game and a half ahead. Phoenix 3 games ahead in the loss column. The Lakers 4 games ahead in the loss column. I mean, the Warriors are in the mix here in terms of being a playoff team. It is fascinating,
right.
but they're also about to have a shitload of very hard games ahead of them. Still, today was a great win, man. Today was a great win.
Hey, man, hats off to the Warriors. Man, I looked at it and I said the same thing you said, man. We are really in the GOAT right now.
Crazy.
All we have to do, man, is quit keep not turning the ball over, keep control of it. All we have to do is keep our defense like we doing, even get a little bit better on the defense, and stop dying at the perimeter. If they go in their paint, man, we can pull out these games much easier.
That's a good point, James.
That's my thoughts on it as far as the team.
No, I'm with you. And I do wish the Warriors did not have this strategy of like all or nothing with a 3-point shot, because when those shots aren't falling, it kills them. And there were so many possessions I'm looking at where the Warriors have these easy wide open layups, easy mid-range shots, and mid-range is a stretch. I'm talking like 15 feet or inside, and they're passing these up for these threes. And again, when they go down, it's awesome. But when those shots are not following, when Moses Moody is not shooting 50% from three, it gets ugly fast, man. And I'm with you where sometimes it's good to just take the easy shot, man. Just find the best opportunity out there. But these standings are crazy. And again, this could look totally different. Like a week from now, we could be looking at this and the Warriors are like ninth. I mean, who knows, right? But at the moment,
right,
it's they're in the mix, and Minnesota is flailing. This is what happens when you have a 5-game losing streak, which is what Minnesota is mired in right now. Again, 5 games ago, Minnesota had a record of 27-14. If the Minnesota still was in the 14 loss range, they'd be the 2 seed. You lose 5 games in a row, now you're the 7 seed.
Yes,
it's crazy. It's absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I was looking at the same thing, and I was like, "Dang, Minnesota done fell all the way down. They next to us now. Now wild, Phoenix done went above Minnesota. I was like, ooh, that's crazy." But going back to that dying on the 3-point line, this is where I say Milton can replace Jimmy because he kind of he don't you know what I'm saying, live at that 3. He take it in and he'll draw that foul too. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's what I like, man. But I ain't gonna stay on here, man. My battery getting down. We ain't got no power here in Nashville. So you know what I'm saying? So, we blacked out in Nashville, man. They done the storm that came in, took a power out. So man, I ain't gonna hold. I'm gonna switch phones and get in here again.
Yeah. Charter, are you? Is power back? Are you guys doing okay over there?
No, man. We've been out of power since probably like 4 in the morning.
So are you talking to me with a cell phone connection?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Be grateful you have that. Like when I lose power in the woods here, like I don't have a cell phone connection either. That's what always drives me crazy. So I'm just in the dark, like literally in every aspect. Having that cellular connection at least gives you some connection to everything that's going on out there. I appreciate you joining me in a power outage. Right. Stay warm, man. I was in Nashville. The last time I was in Nashville, I was there for I think a week. First 2 days, it was like 80 degrees. Like we're going all these amazing walks and hikes, and then all of a sudden the next 2 days it was snowing. It was the craziest shit ever. So you got some funky weather out there, and I know it gets cold. So stay warm, brother, in a power outage because that's brutal. Please.
Hey, man, I appreciate you letting me in, man. You have a good one, man. I'll be back.
You too, brother. You too, James. And again, for everyone else out there who was affected by this gnarly storm, they call this a polar vortex. If you're curious about the science behind that, basically what it means, and I learned this firsthand because I lived in Texas for 2 years, and then I lived in Wyoming for a year, and I use my time living in these two places as an excuse to just explore. Like every weekend, my dog jumped in my 4Runner, and we were out exploring national parks, cities, you name it. And so the weather in the Midwest and the South, I got that firsthand experience, and it also made me realize how spoiled, rotten Californians are. Like I'm born and raised in California, and I had no idea just how ridiculously soft the weather is in California. You go almost anywhere else. You leave the West Coast. And when I say West Coast, I'm really meaning California, because if you go north, the Pacific Northwest still gets dumps of rain, snow. They get some crazy shit up there. Probably nothing compared to the rest of the country, but still. But what they don't get is humidity. The rest of the country gets humidity. The rest of the country gets ice storms. The rest of the country can get hail the size of baseballs, of softballs, where the hail is literally smashing into your house and destroying windows. This shit happens far more commonly than any of you Californians may or may not realize. The humidity factor, oh my God, it's disgusting. So air conditioning is a vital part of life, thus power being very important. And winters can be freezing. Case in point, this polar vortex. And what I learned about the weather there, and I'll shut up about the weather in a second, I'm sorry, is you get these cold fronts from north of Canada creeping down into the Midwest and South, and the Rocky Mountains and the Appalachians create this perfect valley to funnel that storm system in, right? And then in this case, you had a second storm system coming from the Pacific that missed all of California. It hit some of Mexico. It went through Arizona, New Mexico, through Arizona and New Mexico, and it converged with this system from the north. And then you have this gnarly ass storm system that's blanketing like thousands of square miles, and it's gnarly. So the whole point of that diatribe, is if you live in California, be grateful for the weather because we get it incredibly easy here. And for the folks out there who are watching or listening in these parts where the storm has hit, I really hope you folks are okay. Power outages are a nightmare, man. They're not fun in any regard. They're costly. All the food in your fridge and freezer can be spoiled if you don't get power back soon. It sucks. It's just a shitty situation. So, James, thanks for joining us in an environment like that. And on that front, I hope we got aim assist because last time I tried to bring him on, you had no connection. Are you with us this time? And I love the picture. Good to see you.
Oh, no, I was asleep, bro. Bro, because I'm not gonna lie, I joined right, and then I was tired. I said, "Fuck this! If I ain't there, fuck this."
So when I went to you, because this is what happened for the audience who's unfamiliar. Aim assist. The last time he tried to come on, he's on the show, and I keep going, "Aim, you there? Hello." I leave. I come back. You're just down there in the green room the whole time. So now we learn you fell asleep. That's hilarious. I love it. How are you doing, man?
Well, I'm good, bro, but. Man, so I do have a take that I heard you say that I disagree with a lot.
Let me know
about the East, because I think there's two teams in the East I think healthy can give anyone trouble. The Knicks, not anymore, not gonna lie. But I say
no depth. Their
the
depth
Pistons,
is ass, dude.
Yeah, it's bad. The Pistons and the fully healthy Raptors, I think gives anyone trouble, like anybody, especially the Pistons, like.
Look, the Pistons thing, I might be on board with you. I don't have enough time in my life to do the NBA League Pass thing where I'm just watching all these games 24/7. Like my focus is the Warriors. And so I get a lot of firsthand accounts of what these other teams are doing, especially Eastern Conference teams and teams that don't get national TV coverage when the Warriors play them. So the Pistons are coming in town next week, and they're going to be playing the Warriors on Friday, January 30th. And look, I need to see that before I give a strong opinion. You might be right, man. My one hesitation with the Pistons, and Charles Barkley said this as well on the broadcast last night. Great to see them back, by the way, inside the NBA. And what he said, which he got some pushback on as well, is, look, the Pistons on paper look amazing. And I'm not going to sit here and hate on them. I'm not sitting here saying like they can't do shit. They can win the title for all we know. I don't know yet. But they haven't proven anything in the postseason. They're young. They're new. And sometimes you see these teams that barrel through the regular season and they look like dominant. And then the postseason comes around and you see the true colors come out, right? Like high pressure situations, suddenly matchups matter. Now, with all that said, I don't see weaknesses on this Pistons team. They could be exactly like you say. So I'm not pushing back on that. And what I said ultimately, Aim, and let me know if you agree or disagree with this. What I'm saying repeatedly is with the East, there occasionally will be a team, maybe two, that comes out of the East that's legit. I'm talking about year after year, the other 13 teams, right? There's 15 teams in the East. Year after year, 13 of the 15, this is like almost consistent, are just dog shit. They're just awful teams, man. And what I mean by that more specifically, like if the Golden State Warriors, this current Warriors team, with Jimmy Butler out for the year, with Kuminga and Steve Kerr not on the same page, Stephen Curry's turning 38 in a month and a half. I still think this Warriors team, if they're in the East, they're in contention for the finals. That's how effing awful the East is, man. And we're gonna find out how the Warriors match up with Detroit in a second. Am I making more sense now? I don't mean to like just hate.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I've seen Pistons beat some top teams in the West.
All right, you might be right. We'll see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them yet.
But it also says a lot, bro. So I'm looking at that play-in for the West, bro, and I don't see us winning against any of those teams. Like none. If that's the play-in at the end of the year, we're not winning against any of those teams. Like none. I don't see anything. Not even the Blazers, because by the time the Blazers get there, they'll probably have Scoot and Dame and everyone back. So if that's the plan, I don't like our chances with that. What do you think though?
Of what, the plan?
Yeah, like if those are the teams in the plan, like
I don't know why I said it like that. The plan? It sounded like a tool there. Okay. if the okay, I mean, it is tough. Let's share this screen again. The standings. Let me bring this back up. I have it queued up here. So and we'll play some sound from Minnesota in a moment. I see some clips coming down. So right now, if the season ended today, the play-in, the way it would look is you would have Minnesota and Golden State playing a game to decide who's going to be the 7th seed. The winner becomes the 7th seed. The loser plays the winner of 9-10. I mean, the Warriors beat Minnesota today, but who knows how both these teams look a week from now. I wouldn't feel good about it, even with what we saw today. But let's say they beat Minnesota, and now you're the 7th seed. It could actually work out. Look, here's your best case scenario. I'll lay out your best case scenario right now. The Warriors, if this finishes as it is today, they play Minnesota in the first round. And I think ultimately Minnesota will figure their shit out, and it's going to be Phoenix in that 7th seed. But another team the Warriors could theoretically beat. So let's say the Warriors finish as the 7th seed, and you get San Antonio as the 2 seed. That is the absolute best case scenario. Like, the Warriors match up with San Antonio very well. San Antonio's roster, the way they're constructed, very much like the Warriors, man. Like Wemby is their main guy, and then you surround him with 4 guards. And it's easy to get away with that shit when your guards are, like 6'5", 6'6", like the Dylan Harper types. And Harrison Barnes is not a guard. So, but he's a small power forward, and there's a lot of minutes in a game where he's not out there. Like oftentimes, Coach Johnson, I think that's his name. I hope I got that right. What he's doing is surrounding Wemby with De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, and then whoever that 4th dude is, whether it's Sohan, whether it's who's the other guy that's actually really good that I'm drawing a blank on. There's another player that's a wing.
You talking about really Castle, Stephon?
I said his name already. It's is it Vasil? I think it's Vasil.
Oh yeah,
and
Devin Vasil. Yeah.
So but the point is like a huge reason why the Warriors won those games some months back to back, besides Steph having to drop 49 and 46, is the Spurs basically do what the Warriors do, and Draymond showed his greatest value in those 2 games, because all he had to do was play defense on Wemby. That was his job. Just play D on Wemby, and he did it well enough for them to win those 2 games. It was incredible. So who knows, man? You might get another miraculous run where you get the Warriors winning their play-in game in the first one, whether it's Phoenix, whether it's Minnesota, and then you have a first-round matchup against the Spurs. I don't think you're doing anything beyond that, but I wouldn't say a second-round finish this year with all the things that have happened would be worst-case scenario. What do you think, man? I'm talking a lot. I apologize.
Man, nah, that's kind of optimistic, bro.
You're right. You're right.
That's kind of optimistic. I just feel like those are the teams in the play by the end of the year. We're probably cooked. Not gonna lie, but hey, the Lakers cooked too. But the Lakers been dog shit. They've had the easiest schedule, like one of the easiest schedules, and they're still only 5th seed. I think with that schedule, they should be at least 2nd. Now, if they play any of those teams in the top 6, it's barbecue chicken. Like, they're not winning against any of those teams. None. Like, DeAndre Ayton is soft. He's terrible. They have 0 depth. They're relying on Reeves in the postseason. That would be nasty. So, I mean, we trash, but Lakers trash too. So
agreed. It's just their trash is not quite as trashy because you have LeBron still, right? And again, LeBron is their small forward. He's a 6'8", 250-pound Mack truck, and he's their small forward. Golden State small forward is who? Pajemski? So that's where the disparity really starts to stick out. Is you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I've been actually saying the exact same point that the Lakers have been writing this schedule that's soft, akin to what the Warriors had at the end of last year when the Warriors went 23-7. The Lakers had a schedule like that to start the season, and every time they play a good team, for the most part, I know there are exceptions. I think they won the other night against a high-quality opponent, but I'm with you, man. The Lakers are a dog shit team that will not make noise in the postseason, but I'd still rather have LeBron as my 3rd guy, or even Austin Reeves as my 3rd guy over, I don't know, who's the 3rd guy for the Warriors? Pajemski? Like,
Moody?
That's where the Warriors lose me. Hamza Kassem in the chat's asking, who's Steph's number 2 option? That's an easy answer. If Kuminga's healthy, it's Kuminga. But we got to wait until after the trade deadline to figure out if he's actually going to be on the team, and then durability is starting to become an issue with him from my perspective. Like, you got to be on the court, man. I know ankle sprains and knee sprains are hard to prevent, but that's also where experience helps, right? You realize, okay, I can't just be hopping and jumping and being crazy like I always do, because I can land on people's feet. And you got to start adjusting, and you got to start avoiding those types of dumbass injuries that Kuminga unfortunately keeps experiencing. But Kuminga is the number 2 option if he's healthy. That's not a difficult question. And then D'Anthony Melton, I think, is your 3rd option offensively. And this is where, again, Seth Curry, hopefully he comes back, because Seth, I know a lot of you sleep on him. A lot of you think, he's not impactful. This is where we will strongly agree to disagree. If Seth is out there playing, let's say 20 minutes, even 15, those are quality 15, 20 minutes. And if he's playing out there with Steph, at least we're having some fun watching the game in the process as well. And now you have 2 lethal, arguably the 2 best 3-point shooters in the game on the court together. I'm riveted by that, man. How about you, Aim?
Yeah, I like to see it for sure, bro. But man, Pods was actually decent today as always. He's decent when it doesn't matter. When we play actual, I know Timberwolves are kind of in a crisis because they don't have a point guard right now. But I mean, when we play an actual decent team on their shit, Pods just goes missing. So I don't even like hyping up these performances because it's like, what's gonna happen eventually. But like, it's just the same shit over again.
It's fool's gold, yeah.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But my question though, did you expect like the Suns to be this good? Because I didn't think I thought they'd be like 10th seed or something.
Nope. I thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in the NBA. I still don't understand like Jalen Green's role on that team. Like, is he even on the team? Has he been hurt the whole year? I really cannot believe that team is doing what they're doing, basically with Dylan Brooks, Devin Booker, and then guys like Mark Williams, who, side note, the Lakers just blew it pulling back on that trade. Like, the Lakers had Mark Williams and decided, nah, we're good with Dalton Connect. Like, are you out of your effing mind, dude? Rob Pelinka is one of the most overrated GMs I've ever seen in my life. Anyways, yeah. So I'm with you. I think the Lakers are dog shit. I agree with you. I think the Warriors could shock some people in the postseason, but also might be optimistic. And I don't know if you agree with me on that. Maybe you disagree with me on that. And look, and again, I'm not saying that the Pistons are bad. You might be 100% right on that. We're going to find out next week in terms of how they match up with the Warriors. Dude, the Pistons might be the next champion. Who knows? I have no opinion on the Pistons is what I'm trying to say. They could do anything, and it wouldn't surprise me. They are that good on paper. And I love Cade Cunningham, dude.
Wait. Before I go, what's our next 5 games before I go? Let's see.
Next 5 of the Warriors schedule?
Yeah, what's the next 5? So
they have another game against Minnesota.
Okay.
Tomorrow. It's tomorrow Monday. God damn it is. Sorry, folks. So tomorrow's Monday. At Minnesota, they play at Utah on Wednesday, which is rarely, if ever, an easy win, even though it should be. But I don't know if it's the elevation. I don't know if Utah just rises up when the Warriors come in town. So they play at Utah on Wednesday. If you ever see me looking at my phone, it's because I'm looking at the Warriors schedule. And then they host the Pistons on Friday. They host the Philadelphia 76ers next Tuesday, winnable. And then they're at Phoenix on Thursday, and then at the Lakers a week from Saturday.
No,
what are your thoughts?
I got us going like the best case scenario, like 1-5.
And a mic drop. Aim, you are awesome, brother. Thank you as always. I love the fact that you just fell asleep while waiting in our green room. Let's play some sound. Let me hold on. I gotta go back to my feed and find that sound. I thought some sound had come down from Minnesota immediately following the Warriors beating the Minnesota Timberwolves senseless. Again, I would not want to be a player not named Anthony Edwards in that locker room. I can't imagine what that locker room is, what the vibe of that room is. Or this, like, it's either a lot of anger, like maybe like a players only meeting type scenario, or even much worse, just apathy. Just everyone just in there like, F this place, F you, F everybody. I hate all of this. I hate all of you. I hate life. It's just this kind of vibe. It's where's my soundbite? Hey. Yeah, that could very easily be the vibe in the Timberwolves locker room right now. Here is Warriors head coach Steve Kerr, and we have one soundbite from Moses Moody as well. And Kerr talking about the obvious, the somber atmosphere at Target Center. That's the name of the Minnesota Timberwolves home arena. And let's hear from head coach Steve Kerr following this game, where he talked about the environment, and I'm curious to hear if Kerr mentions that as maybe being a variable to the Warriors pulling out the win today. So here is Steve Kerr.
Did you feel that from the group today, given what the last 48 hours have been like?
Honestly, what I felt was that their group was suffering. I thought the vibe in the stands, it was one of the most bizarre, sad games I've ever been a part of. You could feel the somber atmosphere. Their team, we could tell they were struggling with everything that's been going on, and what the city has been through. So it was very sad. It was a sad night. We're obviously we got the win and we're happy about that, but very difficult to see so many people struggling and sad, and they came to the game to try to forget about stuff, I guess, but I don't think anything went away for the city and for their team. I think they were suffering from the effects of everything.
All right, so that was Warriors head coach Steve Kerr saying that the recent strife in Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota, in case you've been living under a rock, a very strong ICE presence, ICE standing for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Is that what the E is? And again, a lot of political tumult in the state of Minnesota currently. Hell, in the whole world, man. My focus has been much more on economics. Like our economy is in the absolute tank. And side note, one of the easiest ways to tell if the economy is bad, provided you actually consume media content, and I imagine you do because you're watching the show right now if you're listening to this, but more specifically, like traditional legacy media, whether it's TV, radio, those kinds of things, or even like YouTube, like basically wherever you see advertisements. How I typically gauge an economy and how it's doing is how many local advertisers you see, because local companies, smaller businesses, they're usually telling you if the economy is good or bad. And if they can't afford to spend money on advertising, that means they're hurting. And the only ads I'm seeing right now are from national corporate chains, or pharmaceutical companies, right? The places that are making money no matter what, like the Coca-Colas of the world. I saw an ad for Dell Computers, alcoholic beverages, your staples, right? Your big corporations, like they're the only ones having any representation advertising wise. You don't see local sponsors, and that's a warning sign, man. That is a huge flag for how the economy is going. Yeah, that's but just a lot of shitty things going on in this world right now. Not so shitty was Moses Moody. Let's go to one more soundbite, and then we'll bring on Tim of the City, Memo, and then if Chardol's available, Chardol, and that'll be our show. But let's listen to Moses Moody, our FanDuel player of the game, and listen to his thoughts after a night where, again, if you missed the box score from earlier, or if you didn't get a chance to see it, Moody finished with 19 points, second on the team behind Steph's 26 on 5 of 9 shooting from deep, added 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks in a successful effort. And he's going to be desperately needed tomorrow when a lot of players, I imagine, will be DNP'd for health reasons, load management reasons. Maybe, who knows if Steph plays tomorrow. I mean, you got to be careful with him as well. So props to Moody, great game. And here he was after the game. This is courtesy of Joseph Dykes of the Bay Area News Group. The last clip from Steve Kerr was courtesy of NBC Sports Bay Area. Here is Moses Moody.
Yeah, well, I was pretty high up in my room, so I could see the whole street from, I don't know how many blocks, all the way down. And it was it's not like a line of people. It was a lot of people out there. I couldn't actually see the details of what's going on and everything, but just seeing that large of amount of people out there protesting over a cause, it's yeah, something. Yeah, well,
Ooh, so a non-basketball question to Moody. That was in regards to the game yesterday being postponed by 24 hours, and Moody describing how he can see the protest group covering an entire street from his hotel room. That is wild. Yeah, Chef 77 in the chat saying, "Damn, that's wild." Agreed. That is heavy. So Nick the Greek saying that. Nick, I don't agree with this, but it's funny. I don't know why. It is funny. Saying them, but I also don't agree with it. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I haven't taken a good look lately at Moses Moody's weight, but Nick the Greek in our chat throwing in a Moody looks chubbier post. I don't know if that's true or not. Has he gained weight? Has Moses Moody gained weight? Does the rest of the chat agree with that? I don't know. Let's get Tim of the city joining us. Tim, how you doing?
Good.
What's on your mind, brother?
I wonder if I could just talk about the 49ers really quick.
Go for it.
I know this is not.
No, I don't care. Look, like when we get this late in the show, an hour 20.
I just wanted to say something because there are some like parallels to the Warriors.
Yeah, and look, when we're this late in the show at an hour 20, we say whatever the hell you want, man. I mean, I always try to get the important Warrior stuff at the beginning of the show, largely for the audience members who are watching the recorded version, and all they want is just the facts, right? And they just want to get takes, and so I try to front load the show with like everything I have that I think would serve the audience. And then beyond that, man, like this is an open forum, brother. So give us your Niners take. Side note, the Niners have been my team my whole life. I love that team. Like if the Warriors are 100% in terms of my fandom, I say the Niners are about 98. Like they're very close behind. I get pissed when they lose is what I'm trying to say. What is your Niners take?
Did
I talk too much? I apologize.
I think I'm having problems with my sound.
You sound good from our perspective. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me. I'll come back some other time. I'm having.
No. You sound good, man. I'll shut up. Oh, God damn it! He actually sounded good. I wanted to hear what his Niner take was, and the parallels. He was going to bring up parallels between the Niners, and the Golden State Warriors. I wonder if he wanted to follow up. I wonder if he wanted to follow up on what I was saying earlier about poop rolling from the top, and yeah. Oh, and Shardall. Let me get you on the show here real fast, so we can get our closer on. Shardall likes me to email him the link, and I get that. All right, Shardall, you got the email. And if you want to join us, you can. In the meantime, let's get the scoreboard going. Let's get some tunes. Coming to you live from the club. Golden. I was going to say gentleman's club, but I wouldn't mind making it a gentleman and gentlewoman club. Maybe just have like dividing walls, depending on your interest. My point is, would that be a good business idea? Open up a gentleman/gentlewoman club called Golden Days. Maybe call it Golden Holes. And then we do the show from there. Like the studios are within the club. Good idea? Bad idea? I don't know. Any investors out there interested in getting that going? Not Golden Days, Golden Stars. Golden Destiny. You can call it, that would be a good name. Gentle Ladies. Yes, thank you for that. Not Gentle Woman. G4M is asking for Zion Williams and Evie Messi from the Pelicans. Wouldn't hate that. All right, elsewhere in the association, on a day when the Warriors were not supposed to play, I feel like there's like one more topic I wanted to touch on, and I just totally forgot. Oh well, what you gonna do when they come for you? Yeah, no new sound. All the sound bites are about like just what Minnesota's going through. Well, we don't play Brandon Pajemski's sound on this show that often, and he had a good game tonight. Let's hear from Pods real quick, if folks don't mind. Here's Brandon Pajemski. This is a really quick, simple soundbite. And again, all the commentary from the players is about the social unrest in the city of Minneapolis, the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. And Pajemski was no exception to that. Courtesy of Joseph Dykes. Turn the volume up on your devices, please, or I'll turn the Golden Destiny music down. All right, here is Brandon Pajemski after today's game.
Not much energy as expected. People voicing their opinions about what's going on, and yeah, it's pretty dead.
Okay, he said nothing. He said literally nothing there. Sorry about that. Yeah, Simon too. With like calling me out, rightfully so. I deserve it. Saying there was a reason for that we don't play pod sound. It's on this show that often. As the NFC Championship game is on right now, Seattle leads 31-27. All right, let's try to finish the show before. That's probably where Chardol is. All right, in the association, we'll wrap it up with a scoreboard check here on a Sunday, January 25th. Oh, it just occurred to me. It's my former dog's birthday today. Indy, always love you. Rest in peace. Let's see what else. I gotta stop thinking about that. It's gonna make me cry. All right, let's check out the scoreboard. Well, we got some finals. All right, a final in San Antonio where the New Orleans Pelicans pulling off an upset, defeating the Spurs in San Antonio, 104-95 the final. Zion Williamson, 24 points, 10 rebounds in the win. Victor Wembanyama, 16 points, 16 boards, 4 blocks in the loss for a Spurs team that drops to 31-15. The Pelicans improving to 12-36. The Detroit Pistons are going to be in town Friday to take on the Warriors at Chase Center, and they put a thumping on the Sacramento Kings today at home in Detroit. 139-116 the final. The Pistons improving to 33-11. Sacramento dropping to 12-35. Excuse me. Cade Cunningham in the game. 29 points, 11 assists, 3 steals. Domantas Sabonis, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists in the loss for a Kings team that drops to 12-35. The Pistons improving to 33-11. The Clippers hosting the Brooklyn Nets tonight. That game just got underway. Halftime in Phoenix, where the Miami Heat lead that one 58-48. And with 33.8 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, and this makes me wonder if this is the reason why aim assist was so high on the Raptors. I'm not saying Toronto's a bad team. I just don't know. I just don't know if I'd call them like a serious contender. But the Raptors right now leading the OKC Thunder in OKC, 101-99. But there is 33.8 seconds remaining in that one. So chances are those of you watching this show, the recorded version, will know what the result of that is. Nuggets and Grizzlies got postponed because of the power issues from the heavy storm in Tennessee. Memphis, an interesting stadium, by the way. If you've never been there, it's a congruence of Tennessee, Mississippi, and I believe Arkansas. Interesting town. Memphis, Tennessee. And Mavericks and Bucks was also postponed. That one due to travel restrictions. So, yeah, we got G4A mentioning a few games postponed tonight. The Warriors, however, their game yesterday not postponed because of weather, but because of social unrest, craziness. I don't have a strong recollection of a game being affected by that. There is Chardol before we go real quick. Chardol, how you doing, buddy? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. My bad. You came so late, I almost forgot to do this. Here we go.
Stay at home, son.
There you go. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Cy? Hi, Cy. I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. You make some great content videos on the platform.
Fan of yours.
As the Golden State Warriors take down the Minnesota Timberwolves by a final score of 111-85. What were your thoughts on the win tonight for the Dubs?
It was a good win. Shardal, do you watch movies?
I love to watch movies.
I just watched last night. I finally got around to it. One battle after another. Have you seen that film?
I watched that. I watched that movie, one battle after another. It was such a good movie. I mean, it was, the graphics were good. The humor, the comedy was great. I mean, it was a great movie overall. I mean, I love movies. I love to watch movies. They're a great way to relax and escape and just put on your favorite movie and watch it.
That was a crazy movie, though. I mean, I was like, it was just, I guess, I was a little surprised that Leonardo DiCaprio, even though he's the star of the film, his character is just like a role, like kind of like a more of a supporting character than like the star. But with all the, look, that was just a fantastic film. Like, bravo! That to me epitomized filmmaking. I was blown away. I was very impressed. Shardal, what are your thoughts on the NFC Championship? You're watching that right now, right?
I'm currently watching the NFC championship game right now. Rams and Seahawks. The game is so thrilling. I'm watching the game right now. I picked the Rams to beat the Seahawks, but it looks like the Seahawks are going to beat the Rams, and they're going to move on to the Super Bowl.
What's going on in the game? Let people know, and then we'll finish. Is there, like, how much time is left? Is it almost at the end?
So it's the Seahawks 31, Rams 27. No, Rams 31, Seahawks 27.
No, try again.
Seahawks 31, Rams 27.
There you go. How much time is left, though? I can't see that.
I don't know how much time is left.
Okay. Who's going to win the Super Bowl, Shardal?
I'm going with Rams to win the Super Bowl.
I feel you. That was my call, too. What was your thoughts on the Warriors game tonight? Did you watch it?
I watched the Warriors game. That was a really great win for the Dubs. I think they played really well today. Stephen Curry had an amazing performance. He had 26 points. Steph is always fun to watch on the court, man.
Always.
Every time he steps on that basketball court, he's unpredictable. You never know what that man is going to do when he puts on that Warriors uniform and steps on that court.
You know, I saw Steph do something tonight I've never seen him do before, and that was leave the game early, not for injury reasons. Did you see that? Like he left with about 3 minutes remaining, and it wasn't like a disrespectful thing, because part of it is they're going to be playing again tomorrow night, so I don't think Steph felt the obligation to stick around. He was also signing autographs for kids and fans as he was leaving, but there was still like 3 minutes remaining on the clock. It was funny. I've never seen him do that before. Have you?
I mean, Stephen Curry is such a great human being and a role model, and whenever I go to all the games at Chase Center, he takes time to sign autographs for every single fan. That's what I like about him. He takes all his time to get to every single fan and make sure every single fan gets an autograph from him.
He's a good dude. Shardal, I want to get out of here and watch the end of this game. Any final thoughts? Promote your channel and everything else.
Can I go over my YouTube channel is
Stay at home, son.
SGA Sports Talk, right?
And I'm currently at 518 subscribers. I was at 520 subscribers. 2 people unsubscribed.
Only one message for those people.
Fuck you.
Yeah, sons of bitches.
I need to regain can you help your viewers make sure that I regain those 2 subscribers back, so I'm back at 520?
You could ask them. Folks, if you don't mind, we'll play the open one more time, so visually for the YouTube audience, you can see how it's spelled on your screen.
Stay at home, son.
Help your boy Shardal out. He's an extension of this show. And Shardal, I figured out now, if you don't mind, I figured out what you need to say anytime you call into any of these radio shows. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All you have to do is ask them or call them a propagandist. Can you say that word?
When I call into a Warriors radio show, I'll say a propagandist.
Just say, why are you guys propagandists? That's
I'll say Bonta Hill is a propagandist.
That's it. And watch the fireworks after that.
Can I go over the scoreboard with you? I have time. Can you quickly go over the scoreboard before I leave? Before we wrap up the show for the night?
I did that. I was asking for you for like 15 minutes and you weren't anywhere. And I'm glad you showed up now. But we already did the scores. It's over.
But it was great coming on your show, and I'll definitely come on here for another Golden State Warriors postgame show. I'll see you. Hope you have a great night and catch you. And it's great. It's and I love everything you do. And hope you keep on. I hope you keep up the good work.
Oh, sure. Thank you, brother. And before you go, I can never pronounce this name here because those aren't. That's not the English alphabet. I can't read it. But however you say that name. With a funny, Shardal, is this a funny joke to you? The accusation is that you lost your 2 subscribers because ICE got a hold of them and they got deported.
Did you hear that 30? I heard about that. This whole ICE political controversy is really troubling me because Minnesota is really hurting right now after what's going on in their country with the whole fatal ICE shooting. The Warriors game was postponed yesterday. The game was supposed to happen on Saturday, but it got postponed to Sunday.
Shardal, is Byron Knox correct in saying that you've been drinking today?
No, I have not been drinking tonight. I'm sober.
Oh, you're sober. Okay, see, Byron, that's misinformation right there. Propaganda.
Sai, did you when you watched the did you watch the Kings and Pistons game?
No.
Ron Holland II shoved Keon Ellis and he got ejected from the game.
Why?
He shoved Keon Ellis.
Who did?
Ron Holland II from the Pistons shoved Keon Ellis of the Kings.
Ron Holland is one of those dudes, man. Like he will not back down. He'll start shit.
Would you say Ron Holland is like the Draymond Green of the is like Draymond Green because he has a fiery temper and then he gets
two dudes
stuff
like
on
that. They've got 2 dudes like that. They've got Ron Holland and they got Beef Stew. I don't know if either one of them can play the mental warfare game like Draymond, but they certainly got the temper. The anger is there, the passion is there, but I don't know if the IQ matches Draymond's. Maybe it does.
I don't know why Ron Holland would do that. Like I've never seen a player just get all his anger and all his temper and then go out on another player and release everything he got, and then he just goes and unleashes.
Yeah,
it's a bad that's a bad look. When you see players engaging in that type of behavior on the court, it's bad. Like it makes the player look bad. It makes the organization look bad. It makes the coach look bad. Everybody looks bad.
Are we going to see you tomorrow night?
I'll see you tomorrow night.
Beautiful. Good night, everyone.